Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Guys, so listen, a couple of things. Number one, I just really want to thank you guys for, we had a call to action yesterday on the stream. I believe it was yesterday. My last stream might have been Friday. I believe it was yesterday. But in any case, we had a call to action to reach out to Crypto Eddie, send her some words of encouragement, and because she was feeling a little down and a little bit discouraged. And you guys rose to the occasion. So thank you very much for doing that. I definitely appreciate that. She is back to doing some videos, right? Back to adding tremendous value to the community. And we are so very, very grateful for all that she does. And so guys, thank you again, big time for that. So guys, listen, we're gonna go over the Bank of America CEO and why he wants a cashless society. Again, I think it's important to note that that partnership, listen, it's a reality. If in the end I end up being wrong, I'll be like, I'll say I was wrong, but it's a reality, this partnership. And it's gonna be huge news when it's announced. Let's not forget about the deep dive that Lee from SPQR Media did about Bank of America and their ties to Ripple and what they're looking to do. It's huge. And speaking of deep dives with Lee from SPQR Media, that dude Media is doing a another deep dive today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. UK, so I'm hoping that's the right time. 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. in the good old US of A, as I believe is how that works. Oh my goodness. We were supposed to get this guy on this channel a few months back and could not figure out the freaking times to kind of coordinate. Look, it feels as though he's in business for himself as well. And so we just had some big time scheduling conflicts and could not hook up. But guys, today, 3 p.m. Eastern, tune in to Lee from SPQR Media. And it should be just a YouTube channel, SPQR Media on YouTube. I will be there. I will be there without question. In fact, I need to reach out to him on email. But in any case, stay tuned for that, guys. We're going to cover the Bank of America thing. We're going to cover some stuff on Twitter. We're going to get back to Brian Brooks and share some insight. You know, we did the video about him being a pit bull, right? We've done 2 or 3 videos now about Brian Brooks because, again, the timing I think is very significant. He needed some time to get in there early so he can get some stuff done. It looks like it's going to be the summer and fall. Well, he will be launching some of the things that he wants to put out in terms of bank charter, and is sending the banks in the direction that they will be able to operate. So I'm really, really excited about that. So we're going to cover a little bit more from Jeremy Allaire and the Money Movement in the video conference that they held the other day. Whoa, very, very powerful. Shout out to Jeremy Allaire, right? Shout out to the dude from Circle, CEO, just kind of, you know, get in front of the camera, doing some stuff and bringing value, right? During these crazy, crazy times. Shout out to him. He's like, oh, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll get up there. I'll have some people. Yeah, I can get people on. I can get people on the show. Very, very cool. So it's the Money Movement on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel called The Money Movement. Jeremy Allaire, great virtual conferences or interviews, if you will, that he does there. So guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. All right, so let's do this. Bank of America CEO says, we want a cashless society. Okay, this is from Fortune magazine. Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan kicked off Fortune's inaugural Brainstorm Finance Conference in Montauk, New York. How about that? We're getting ready to go to Montauk, New York this weekend. Interesting. On Wednesday, I wish I would have known. On Wednesday, by discussing the tech-driven strides made by one of the country's largest financial institutions. Speaking with Fortune editor-at-large Sean Tully, Moynihan touched on Bank of America's embrace of artificial intelligence-driven technology via applications like Erica. a voice-activated virtual assistant used by 7 million customers. By his estimation, the financial institution has probably spent $30 billion on code over the past 8 years to develop and improve its technological infrastructure. Ooh, I wish I had that Bank of America deep dive for you guys, because I'm telling you, Bank of America is looking to make a move. Bunch of patents, Ripple patent, fact, Ripple patent, fact, blockchain, Bank of America and Ripple and a patent, fact. With 27 million mobile customers, 37 million digital customers, and more than half of its transactions already digitized via method payments like payment applications, Zelle, Moynihan said the banking industry will continue to move toward a digital, tech-enabled model, which, as he noted, are cheaper and more efficient than traditional methods. And what I see ultimately with Bank of America is they saw the writing on the wall, and they made a decision that they were going to pivot and not be left behind. What they said is, and I think this is so important, that they were part, look, they're the top 5-8 banks, right? They were part of that friction, right? Friction enabled, I call it, because they were able to gain so much money from that system. That is a lot of friction, right? So they were cashing in, but they realized, they saw the writing on the wall, and they got ahead of the curve. They got ahead of the crowd. Epitome of the definition of vision. Definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. And so they got ahead of the crowd, and it looks as though that they're looking to be a major part in the new financial system, especially within the banking community. Lee from SPQR Media used the term a market maker. And I don't know if it was the FX or it's the derivatives market, but the major market maker, like the market maker. This is what they were looking to do, the pivot. It was a great deep dive. It really, really was. It was a really, really, really great deep dive that Lee and the boys from SPQR Media put together. I have to tell you. So, you know, and then we all know about the tweet that came out with Alice Cobb and Bank of America asking him to take that tweet down, right? We all remember that. Let's not forget. Alice Cobb tweeted out about that partnership and some announcement, something along those lines. They reached out to the guy and said, hey, could you take that down? People from Ripple reached out. Can you take that down? Because we got a major announcement. So it's coming. It's just a matter of time, guys. It's coming. And by the way, I know it's tough right now with the price. I know it's tough. Again, guys, all the new people in the space that may perhaps not have gone through the last bull run. It's tough right now to see XRP sideways. In other coins, you know, getting these percentage gains, quote unquote, especially if you haven't reached the benchmark, the milestone marker, your ultimate goal for your XRP holdings, and you're seeing all these other things pump. I get it. Absolutely tough. I totally get it. I encourage you to watch Blockchain Backer's latest video. Blockchain Backer's latest video. I encourage you to watch that about, I think he said, should I sell my XRP for Link and VeChain and whatever might be doing this thing right now? You should watch the video and pay close attention to it. Listen, you really should. You really, really should, especially if you entered into the XRP holdings at the 17 and the 20 cents and the 30 cents and the 40 and 50 cents, especially if that's where you start accumulating your XRP. You should definitely watch that video. Now, for those of you that were fortunate enough to get it less than a penny and 2 pennies and 3, 4, 5 cents, that's a different thing. But for the vast majority of people, I believe they're in that 17 to 50%, 50 cents range. Vast majority are in 20 cents to 30 cents range. I strongly encourage you to watch the video Blockchain Backer's latest video. Should I sell my XRP for VeChain and Lincoln, you know, whatever else he mentioned? You want to check that out. You'll want to check that out. It'll give you some perspective. and help you to stay grounded, if you will. You have to make your own decision financially, but it'll help you, I believe, give you some context, give you a better perspective of kind of where you are. You know, we say on this channel, look, if you reach what we did in the Crypto Siege's home in terms of our XRP holdings, we wanted to hit a milestone. We didn't want to just have some XRP, okay? So we wanted to hit a milestone, a marker, a goal, and it changed like 10 times, yes. But when we ultimately set up, a milestone, right? Okay, a milestone number. Once we hit that, we were off into diversifying. That's what we did in the Crypto Siege's home. That's what we did, right? And so, because this is a whole new space, this is a digital asset space, and it's going to be winners in this bull run, right? They're going to be winners. And in the end, I'm so glad we made the decision to do that, because I believe the new financial system will be about assets that you hold. And I don't think there are any greater assets to hold than assets in this asset class, which is the digital asset space. This new asset class that's going to swap, absolutely engulf and swallow up all the other asset classes. So holding assets where you can say to your friends, yeah, this is what they're doing in the real world with their technology, right? And you get them for less than $1. Less than $1. There are people who became multimillionaires buying stuff at $40 and $50 in a traditional space. So anyway, I digress. Let me go on here. So the Bank of America thing, I think, is going to be huge. What does this say here? Moynihan added the heightened importance of and reliance on technology has changed the way money works. Not only improving the customer experience, but also allowing banks to cut billions of dollars of costs again. Bank of America ahead, having vision, seeing it before the masses see it, and making moves, right? In that respect, the shift to a cashless society is one that Bank of America is embracing. Yeah, it's going to save you billions of dollars. We want a cashless society, he said. We have more to gain than anybody from a pure operating cost perspective. How about that? I'm not going to read the whole article, but I do think it's important to know the Bank of America gets it. You don't have to like the bank. The important thing to understand is it's a new financial system being created, right? It's a new financial system being created, right? And so this partnership with Ripple is going to be huge. And this announcement, I can't wait to hear it, because it's gonna shake the world. It's gonna shake the world, really. It's gonna turn it upside down, in my humble opinion. I really do believe that. So what else do we have here? There it is right there. Shout out to Digital Investor who shared this morning about the Bank of America CEO wanting a cashless society, and from Fortune magazine. Got to shout you out, my dude. Thanks for sharing with the community. I appreciate that big time. Now, what else is there? In fact, let me give you a follow. How about that? Yeah, I can hang with that. So investing in Stellar Lumen is what you need to know. Listen, I didn't go through this article, but I really got to have to do some diving in on Stellar Lumen myself. Yeah, because I look, I don't own any. I have a payments thing, right? I have a payments asset that I hold. So in any case, there it is right there. So on securities.io, if you want to check it out, investing in Stellar Lumen, what you need to know. And who shared that? James Rule, XRP, the one and only, talking about adding value to the community, right? Taking his time, his precious time to add value to the community. And I definitely appreciate you doing that, brother. This is an interesting thing from Digital Nomad Investor. So Major Tom put this out, and I think it's important. Just, again, it's always important to have your XRP radar antennas up, right, from the geopolitical front. So Major Tom here, Major Tom XRP. Judy Shelton's clues give us a little insight into what is coming after her probable Fed board appointment. He notes restructure of the Fed and central banking system Once established on a global GS, I'm not sure what that is that global scale, we don't need CBs, central banks, and IMF to manage monetary policy and interest rates, right? And I guess it was kind of some article or something like that. I like that idea too. Okay, so someone said that they begged to differ in there, but here's what I liked about digital nomad investor. We all know the digital nomad investor, big time XRP content creator and contributor to the family, keeping us abreast and giving us the chance to be ahead of the game from the geopolitical front, and that's important. He says the IMF is leading the great reset of the global financial system. It's already started. They publicly announced it June 3rd. Agenda 2030 is rolled into it as well, right? I think that's important. So Major Tom said something here that I think is different. Said, I respectfully beg to differ with that outlook. There are two competing narratives at play here, the globalists, UN plus central banks plus IMF, etc., pushing their new world order with fear and Agenda 2030. The reset we're going to get is Trump's reset, which is the opposite, returning power back to the people. So in any case, I like this right here. Who locked down the entire planet? That was ordered from the top, globalists. The United States followed orders. Who ordered the solution? I mean, who offered the solution? He asked, who offered the solution? In parentheses, the Great Reset. Again, from the globalists. This problem, reaction, solution blueprint was in place for years. Pandemic destroyed the global economy and the reset. And I really like his perspective again, because this was a guy who was on the inside, if you will, and from his background, who was part of these type of scenarios, who trained and learned about these very things. And so when he says this problem, reaction, solution blueprint was in place for years, pandemic destroyed the global economy and a reset, 10,000% makes sense to me. And think about how little sense the COVID, the lockdown, the any of that makes any sense. Think about how it doesn't make any sense. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense, because it's just a bigger scenario to all of it. There's a bigger game being played. We're not privy to the inside. But people like the digital nomad investor can give us some insights, because he was in that space at one time, okay, guys? He was in that space, and he can give us some perspectives and allow us, again, to be 2-3 steps ahead. And what I love about his channel, by the way, you should definitely check him out on YouTube, Digital Nomad Investor, is he always relates it to how it, he always brings out how it relates to XRP and people who hold XRP. So I really, really do like his perspective. Make sure you give him you check him out on YouTube. Follow him here on Twitter at Digital Nomad INV. All right, so okay, I did that already. Yeah, Ripple plans expansion into the DeFi sector is going to be a big deal. Ripple anticipates its efforts to increase interoperability, including the incorporation with Ethereum developers by Ripple's spring earlier this year to bridge the gap between XRP and ETH. Shout out to BondCrypt XRP, big time XRP community member. Again, adding value to the community. We appreciate you doing that, my friend. And so, yeah, I remember David Schwartz just the other day. He was on Blockdown TV, and he mentioned about Ripple looking, doing the loans, looking to get into the DeFi as well. It's not going to matter. Ripple has a superior technology. They can move in any direction that they choose. Any direction that they choose to move, they can do it. And so, very, very interesting. I wanted to share a video with you guys real quick, just to remind you of what is going to happen with Brian Brooks. We covered the executive order of regulatory relief, right? Executive order for regulatory relief, talking about the agencies And we highlighted the agencies need to move forward, and they need to be able to push forward without regulatory constraints, right? So that executive order talked about giving them the ability to rescind, to modify, to work around regulations, to do whatever is necessary. These agencies do whatever is necessary to be able to rebound, recover, and thrive. Rebound, recover, and thrive from the damages of the bear cold. And one of those agencies is the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. And Mr. Brian Brooks is currently the interim head of said agency. And this dude is not playing. So I'm going to share this here. This, again, the money movement with Jeremy Allaire. I'm going to share something that Kristen Smith shared that I think is important. She is the executive director of Blockchain Association. And she brings something up that I think is important, highlighting Brian Brooks and where she believes that agency, with the shackles off, are going to be able to do. Is pretty cool. Let's check this out.
No, well, I was going to say, I think we are. I think Perian's right. We are at sort of a catalyst moment. And, you know, I don't think, if you look at the landscape in general, for policymaking in Washington right now, you know, Congress is almost at a total standstill due to the election, unless it's something directly related to the pandemic. So I don't think we're going to see any great legislative victories, but I do think, in addition to the issues that John mentioned, I do think we're going to see some great stuff out of the OCC. You know, we've got.
I do think we're going to see some great stuff out of the OCC. Absolutely. Brian Brooks, the former legal counsel at Coinbase, big time digital assets fan, absolutely believes that crypto firms, if you will, should be able to act in the matter and get these federal, if you will, banking licenses so that they can move forward with the crypto firms. I'm telling you guys, I did a video. We did that video calling this guy Brian Brooks a pit bull. This dude, again, I believe, has been given the blessing to run rampant, right? And it's a smart move by the current administration to put out this executive order to allow the agencies to do what they need to do, right? Right? You can take credit when it goes great and outstanding, and you can say, hey, you know, the agencies acted on their own. They're independent agencies when it goes bad. It's brilliance. And from us in the digital asset space, it's going to be huge because this guy, Brian Brooks, at the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, is crypto friendly in a big way. In a big way. And let us not forget that he has a relationship in previous life at, I think it was called Bank West or West Bank, with Mr. Mnuchin, who co-authored the previous executive order, Executive Order 13772, about a new financial system in which it was mentioned Ripple. And the current administration, the POTUS, signed that executive order. So let's listen to what she believes Mr. Brian Brooks is going to get done.
One of the industry's own over there now who really understands the technology. And I think that there are policy clarifications that can be made that will make crypto less scary to the traditional financial services world. Yeah. Like there will be acceptance of the fact that, you know, that banks should be able to interact with this technology and then hopefully ultimately potentially get a payments charter. I think what's important to know about the OCC is that it is a very special agency. It's independent. It's housed under Treasury, but it's independent. So it doesn't have to go through the rulemaking process or getting approval from the OMB and OIRA and all of the like traditional regulatory processes that most executive branch agencies have to do.
That is so very, very important. And she's saying this in its current, she's saying that she's given a scenario in its current landscape, right? This is excluding, excluding the executive order on regulatory relief. So not even counting the executive order on regulatory relief, the OCC, even though it's housed under the Treasury, doesn't have to go through the OMB and other different agencies to move in the direction that they want to move in. That's traditionally the case. But now you add on top this executive order. Now you add on top of that, giving these agencies the power to rescind and modify regulations and essentially do whatever they need to do to push forward to recover, recover and rebound and thrive from the damages of the beer code. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This dude is the OCCs, right? It oversees the banks of all the banks. A payments charter, she mentioned that. Hopefully we get a payments charter. And again, this guy, he's acting, right, as the head interim right now, but that's cool, you know, and he's going to get the blessing. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to get the blessing to be the full time. No doubt in my mind. Pay attention to the plan. It's being rolled out. It is so very obvious.
And it also doesn't need a vote of a commission because unlike the SEC or the CFTC that have, 5 voting commissioners that may disagree, this is a one-man operation. So
how powerful is that? Unlike the SEC or the CFTC, I believe she said, yeah, where like it might be a few people, 4, 5, 6 people commission type board where you got to, everyone's got to vote and all and agree and all that. Nope. This is a one-man show. Anyone think it's a coincidence that Brian Brooks got this gig? You think it's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that he got the gig? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. You can say plan behind plans, but I'm telling you, there's a show in front of us for you and I, right? In front of the camera, that's for you and I. The real deal is behind the camera. It's off camera. It's behind the curtains, right? It's behind closed doors. The dude was appointed, in essence, by the current administration for a reason. And again, this is just my personal belief. I just do not believe that there is any way in heck that this current administration is going to let the ginormous behemoth of an entity that is Ripple Labs out of San Francisco, California, that they're going to let Japan sing the praises of this technology, that they're going to let Southeast Asia, that they're going to let the Lantam market, that they're going to let wherever Bitso operates in Brazil and Argentina, they're going to let all of those markets sing the praises of Ripple and its technology and what it's doing for them in their region, how it's serving their people, and not allow that to happen in the US of A. A good old US of A company in Japan's going to sing its praises and take advantage of its technology, and the good old US of A is not going to. This current administration, no way. This current administration loves to usher up the good old US of A companies to the front of the room and sing the praises. And then, talk about how the current administration has helped them move forward in building and growing America. Ripple, a 10 billion valuation. 10 billion. And they haven't even IPO yet. 10 billion. US of A technology focused in tens of trillion dollar space, if not hundreds of trillions of dollars space. And they own it. The good old US of A company owns the superior technology. A good old US of A company. And this current administration is just going to let that opportunity slip through its fingers? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I can see it right now. I'm telling you right now, I could close my eyes and I can see it right now. I can hear it right now. Yeah, Brad and Chris, they've been working with the regulators from day one. Good old USFA company doing big things. They're doing big things. Big. They're big. You can't hear that? Can you not hear that? I can hear it. I'm telling you, I can hear it. Anyway, I digress. Let's continue on.
I think that we'll be able to see some fast action, this summer and this fall coming out of there, and I think that will help pave the way for other regulators over at the SEC and FinCEN to have more comfort with advancing some clearer, more better policies.
That's very, very encouraging, and hopefully can see some real progress there.
That is the deal. That is the word, and I love that she said it. Okay, Kristen Smith said it because women have a certain intuition about them, and they get a good feel about them. The women in crypto, I gotta tell you, they're awesome. By the way, hello, women out there in crypto, you are awesome, 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 awesome. So that perspective, I think, is great. Okay, I think it's absolutely outstanding, and it absolutely makes sense. It 10,000%. She's just not thinking of something saying one day. It 10,000% makes sense. That she said the SEC and FinCEN, right? They're gonna hold back a little bit, but if they see another executive agency make some moves, oh, okay. Well, the banks, with the OCC did this thing, is allowing the banks to dabble, get their feet wet a little bit in the digital asset space. Okay, cool. Perhaps we should go in that direction as well. And don't forget, the SEC has an open spot right now because Clayton is gone. He got a new gig. Guess who gave him the new gig? And I believe it is out of New York somewhere, but guess who did that? Current administration. Current administration. Did they give him a new gig, or did they open the door for someone crypto friendly to step into the SEC? You got to ask yourself that. And if there's any administration that is savvy in putting the pieces in place, it's this current administration. And again, I am not right. I am not on one side or the other. I'm on the crypto sieges side. I'm on the crypto siege home side. That's the side that I'm on, right? So you just got to think about it. Opening the door at the SEC for 3 candidates. Mike Novogratz said the 3 candidates are all very crypto friendly, but he also pointed out that crypto Pierce would be a great one. We all know that's crypto mom to step in and fill that role. What if you get Hester Pierce? What if you imagine getting Hester Pierce and Brian Brooks working together to evolve and to grow and to adopt and embrace blockchain technology in the digital asset space? What about that 1-2 combo? That's a pretty powerful combo. It really, really is. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up. I've gone on too long. It's been a great hangout. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos. By the way, don't forget, deep dive from Lee from SPQR Media, the one, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the channel, SPQR Media channel. I would encourage you to get to that channel, set that reminder so that you know. 3 p.m. Eastern time. We may do a live stream at 1 or 2 prior to the deep dive from Lee. Just stay tuned for that. Look for your notifications from the Crypto Siege. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video, end this stream like I do all of my streams, and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sideline? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.